Focus, determination, passion, stamina, and the will to win. The end result, the Ricmotech Sports Car Series. Extreme Motorsports brings you the Ricmotech Sports Car Series, brought to you by Ricmotech High Performance Sim Racing Equipment, and in part by TD's Tree Service. Live coverage Mondays, 9 p.m. Eastern.
Welcome to the Suzuka International Racing course here in Japan, and welcome to round 10 of 12 in the Extreme Motorsports Ricmotech Sports Car Series, brought to you in part by TD's Tree Service, one of the trickiest circuits on the calendar, and as always the Ford Mustangs and the Mazda MX-5s will be taking to the 5.81 kilometre course, 17 corners in all. As I'm back here, Andrew Woodhouse, who will be around in a moment. Alex Simpson, iRacing World Championship driver, master of the Suzuka circuit, no doubt. And Alex, where are the main tricky spots on this circuit, do you reckon, tonight?
I think obviously the final chicane, very tricky. The hairpin also can cause some issues. Trying to get on the power a little bit early there. First sector is just amazing. Love this place. My best result in the World Championship came here. So yeah, 6th place. So very fond memories of this circuit.
If the drivers have any fond memories of this track later on when the checker flag falls. But for now, let's find out what it takes to tackle this 5.81 kilometre Suzuka circuit.
Welcome everyone to Suzuka Circuit, located here in the Kansai region of Japan. Great to have you with us as we provide you your track guide today in the Ford Mustang around this long 3.6 mile figure 8 design road course. This course was originally constructed in 1962 as a Honda test track by Soichiro Honda and was designed by John Hugenholtz, who also designed the ever-flowing circuit Zandvoort. The first sports car race was held here in 1963 and was won by Peter War in his Lotus 23. Well, let's begin our track guide around this long and world-renowned 3.6 mile road course as we cross the start-finish line and start heading down this long downhill front straightaway. Main grandstands to the left, pit area to the right, obviously. Drivers will be reaching speeds upwards of 130, 135 miles an hour as they get down into 4th gear to approach turn 1, shift into 3rd, and between 1 and 2, get a late apex into 2 here. Back to throttle, get that car to rotate up off the exit into the very famous S's here at Suzuka. Turns 3 through 6. Coming out of 4, you want to get that car set back wide to the right to get that nice late apex into 5. And as we approach 6, same thing. Keep it tight to the right so we can set up for Dunlop curve here into 7. A lot of throttle control through that section. You really end up steering the car as much with the throttle as you do the wheel through that section. Up into 8. Fast right-hander, back to full throttle. Down on the brakes, roll off, let the car set. Out of 9. Get a good fast run up through this section. A little tight here. You do see some overtaking opportunities here coming into 11 into the hairpin. That nose down to the bottom. Let that wheel unwind as you push that throttle right back to the floor on exit. Another fast section here. This time we're going to go to the right, up the hill and into the spoon as we come through turn 12. Really like this section here. Very fast. Again, overtaking opportunities here coming into 13. Back on the throttle. Want to get a late apex here as this will bring us out into this long backstretch. It brings us up to 130R, the crossover section of the track, or the figure 8 section. Big passing opportunities here with the draft that you can get up this hill. And one of my favorite corners. Over 130R, the figure 8 section crossover. Roll right out to the edge of the track, back to throttle. And down into 15 and 16, the chicane. Very tight chicane. Back across the left, out, up through the gears, down through 17, and back out onto the front stretch. What an absolutely beautiful course to drive. Thank you for being with us. There's your track guide today for Suzuka Circuit.
And thank you as always to the admins that provide a great track guide. And yeah, the Suzuka Circuit, one of the trickiest on the calendar. And Andrew Woodhouse, I'll bring you in for the first time tonight. What's the grid looking like?
Yeah, good morning, Adam. The grid's looking colourful and it's looking close. Mikey Graham's on pole position in the Ford Mustangs, 2 minutes 18.968. Pasquale Iannucci alongside him on the front row. Mike Dam in third. We'll be looking to rebound from that problems he had, of course, in the previous races. Scott Kennedy in fourth, Kevin Ford fifth, Jeff Jacobs sixth, Michael Burgett in seventh, Tyler Schiffler eighth, ninth, Russell Ruddock 10th, Stephen Thomas 11th, Michael Ruddock, and it's Leon Wright in 12th, 13th, Brandon Whitworth 14th, Raymond Bader Jr., Matthew Taylor in 15th, Scott Brooks 16th, and Michael Monaghan in 17th. Brian Holmes starts on pole for the MX-5s in 18th place, 224.534, so it's 5.5 second differential there. It's quite close, actually. The Mazda's so good on the corners, of course. David Payton alongside him on the front row for them. Then Robert Hartley in 20th, 21st, Tom Ratchie 22nd, Travis Fenke 23rd, Richard Losmer, then John Allen in 24th, Ashley Beard in 25th, so maybe surprisingly down, Jordy Fike in 26th, Dan Carrido 27th, 28th, Chris Torman, Edgar Sanchinelli 29th, Michael Key 30th, Mike Griffith is 31st, and Dave Fitzgerald is at the back, Adam.
Cars just getting on their formation lap then. We're not too far away from getting the race underway. A safe formation lap is about a third of a formation lap. We start just before 130R and then into the Casio Triangle. As Alex was saying at the top of the show, one of the main overtaking points. An hour-long race. 30 plus cars on the grid. We're running for the championship standings once the race gets underway. By now, Mr. Woodhouse, it's Mikey Grams and Pasquale Iannucci leading the field to the green.
Right then, here we go. Safety car peeled off into the pit lane. Any moment now, we'll have the green flag.
Green, green, green.
And the Extreme Motorsports Ricmotech Sports Car Series resumes. Look at this. Start from Scott Kennedy. He's looking to draw alongside Iannucci and Mike Dam into turn one, but he can't do it. He's on the outside. They've blocked him off well. And it's Mikey Grams that maintains that pole position. Adam, how are the MX-5s doing?
They're just coming down to the green flag, and now Brian Holmes on the pole, David Payton second. Tell you what, these rolling starts, it is a fine art, and some drivers, as we saw in the Mustangs, can judge it right, and some others can miss out. But now we get the green in the Mazdas. It looks like it's going to be wheel to wheel between Brian Holmes and Payton into the first corner. Very tricky, this opening set of corners, especially when the tyres are cold. But it looks like that Brian Holmes in the Vauxhall cars got the lead, but it's a battle for second between Rob Hartley and David Payton as they go into the S's.
Yeah, that looks fairly close. They may have to stay single file, of course, through the S's as the Mustangs reach Degner 2. Very tricky corner, and you can see that bridge going across there. That is the circuit. Coming across just before 130R. A very, very rare figure of 8 configuration here, and Alex, it's one of the unique parts of the circuit. But as we may, there's a crash. There's a crash of the hairpin.
Michael Ruddock and Raymond Bader Jr. possibly involved. You can see the smoke. Michael Ruddock has not got as much damage to his car as Raymond Bader Jr.
Yeah, wow. Bader, absolutely flying in there.
The Kobayashi attempt.
Yeah.
On that one.
Darth Bader, Alex, I think, on that one. Here comes Mike Dam. A fantastic run down the straight. The part of the circuit we were talking about. Having a look into 130R maybe, but potentially the Casio Triangle is going to be the one. But as we see every single week, it's a 1 hour race. It's a long race. These drivers just biding the time slightly. It's another good grid here. Adam, with 32 cars. I mean, that's a nice field.
Nice even split as well. 17 Mustangs and 13 or so Mazdas. So we've got plenty for us to keep our eyes on. Tell you what, Raymond Bader Jr. did have the force, but unfortunately that force was crashing into Michael Ruddock. End of the opening lap, Mikey Krems leads Mike Dam by 0.4 of a second. Mike Griffith and Leon Wright were exchanging positions down the front straight. I think that's Mike Griffith up another position as he slides his way through turn 2. Up 7 positions for the man who sits in, as I look at my championship standings, in 4th position in the standings.
Fantastic start from Mike Griffith. Yeah, Alex, I think that must have been a crap version of a forced push down at the hairpin.
Yeah, exactly.
Mike Dam having a look
at
every single
depending on
way.
your inclination there.
That was not the overtaking move that you were looking for.
Dear, it's going to be Star Wars Fun Night. Sorry for those non-sci-fi fans amongst you watching, but yeah.
Yeah, you're just going to have to deal with it. Mike Dam, at the minute, cannot deal with Mikey Grems, and we've seen Mikey Grems all season. Oh, here we go now. Oh, there's the curse of Adam Bath level proportions there.
It is Tuesday. I think Tuesday is the day of the curse of the commentator after what happened in the Formula Renault at Virginia. But yeah, we've got a nice freeway scrap here. Pasquale Iannucci, man on a mission after winning last week at Oran Park. 6 positions he gained in the championship standings after winning that. He'll be able to get some more positions here, and he's doing well in 3rd. Looking like he's coming on strong in the second half of the season.
Yeah, I think so. He needs to, doesn't he? Needs to really come back into this championship fight.
Clinical drive from him, to be fair. Got the absolute perfect strategy. Went for 2 less tyres and gained himself the track position. Then didn't make a mistake. It's so difficult to overtake around Oran Park. It's a short little circuit. You thought, Andrew, the time difference was close between the MX-5s and the Mazdas this week. Well, it was about 1.5–2 seconds last week, so it's very, very close.
I can imagine at Oran Park, because that was that's a circuit very tight and twisty. It's almost constant corners, isn't it?
Yeah, we genuinely had the leaders of the MX-5 actually racing the sort of like the tail end of the Mustangs. So yeah, it was really interesting race.
Awesome. I mean that's what we want to see. For now and again, at least, maybe. And Brian Holmes under pressure from David Payton. Payton is quite close here. Now, you would think, Adam, that this would be one of the circuits where the Mazdas split apart a little bit, but it isn't the case at the moment.
No, believe it or not, the Mustangs and the Mazdas, sorry, I get my words right, we'll get a bit of draft down the straight between Degner 2 and, Spoon 2 and 130R, so that will help them close together. Plus this front straight, plus the hard braking zone into Casio Triangle, as here comes David Payton having a go for the race lead. Having a look up the inside, but Brian Holmes really commanding that outside line in the early going. We can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of the Mazda MX-5s all together here at the start of lap 3.
Yeah, and potentially Alex, it could be like that until the pit stop.
To,
Only 4
to-
places, that.
Yeah, down to 7th, I think, for him. One thing that I was going to say is that the Mazda MX-5s can run like this as long as the drivers in and around this pack don't make any mistakes. That's what seems to be the reason the previous race meetings for packs like this getting split apart somewhat.
Yeah, and I was going to say, Alex, that to not be disrespectful to the rest of the field, but you'd probably say this was the group of drivers that generally would have that front-running pace anyway.
Yeah.
And so every driver really who's got a chance of winning the race, you would imagine is here anyway. So got a good good opportunity for all of them. Although it's starting to split.
Is
a
it
tiny
Anders
bit.
that was one of the former champions as well? We haven't seen him for a couple of weeks now. He's one of the drivers who definitely could win, I think, but he's not here.
No, Andre Saunders either
Saunders,
this
there we go,
week,
yeah.
and there was no couple of others, isn't there, missing, I think, but too many.
Can say that Michael Monaghan didn't take the start. He had an issue with his wheel malfunction off centre actually. That can we had to deal with that for a good 16 hours at Le Mans, but that wasn't a problem with our wheel. That was just a problem with the car.
Car off centre. Can we have a new one, please? Yeah.
Yeah, that's the reason why he's not racing today.
Dear me, I know Indianapolis paid to that, didn't it? In terms of the downforce and everything, and just gained us a bit of extra downforce. I would imagine the way that thing was handling. It was handling beautifully, but yeah, tiny bit to the left.
That we're going to see an R&D objective F1 2017 where you get to crash the car to improve the downforce. But
there you go. Crash the car to improve the downforce. That's possibly also what Raymond Bader was going for earlier on, but he didn't. All it's done is it's just the front of the car is slightly damaged. He should be fine.
We're still yet to get we're still yet to get the feature in iRacing where you can lose bodywork. So we're yet to see that tactic carried out.
They're working on it though, aren't they?
Yeah, we did see that.
It's gonna be good, isn't it?
Hint that it was coming, didn't we?
Yeah, and to be fair, it's it might bring a bit of a use for the safety car and things if there's going to be debris and possibly even the cause of punctures and maybe bits getting stuck in the car, a bit like the cones and things like that. So I think that could be a good. Well, of course it will be good, but could provide some other uses for the racing, Alex. Some other interesting aspects of. You have to avoid the debris maybe going through the accident zone and not just drive straight through it.
Yeah, that would be good.
Quick update on the championship standings as we go into this race meeting. I'd say that Mike Dam leads the way. He is 14 points ahead of Pasquale Iannucci. He's now up to second position in the pro standings after that win at Oran Park as the battle for the lead heats up. Mikey Grems is in third, Stephen Thomas fourth, Tyler Schiffler in fifth. In the open category is Mikey Grems, takes a huge amount of that inside curb at the beginning of the S's. Mike Griffith leads the way there. Quite a commanding lead over Mike Ruddock in second, Scott Brooks third, Mike Monaghan fourth, who's not racing tonight, and Mike Burgett in fifth. In the pro of the Mazdas, it is Rob Hartley leading the way, 9 points ahead of John Allen, David Payton in third, as Mike Dam understeers just a bit wide down the X of the S's section, a Dunlop curve. Payton third, Raf J fourth, and Brian Holmes fifth. And in the open category for the Mazdas, it is Richard Losper leading the way there. Chris Torman only 4 points behind as a mistake for our leader.
Yeah, it's very sideways onto the, possibly even onto the gravel, and there's something you don't really want to do there, but you kind of get away with it there, Alex, because it's not a very long straight up to the hairpin.
No, exactly.
So there comes Dam.
As long as you don't lose momentum out of Dignity, you're okay. But yeah, great drive out of there for Dam. He's got the inside line.
The spoon curve then, Adam. It's a tough place to overtake, and Dam slices through. Is he going to stay there though? Is he going to run wide? Can he keep it? You can use that outside line. Your advantage in the second part. Oh, he's off.
Going. Well, he tries to get it done on the outside. Tried everything, even the gravel, to try and get it done, and it's worked. There you go, guys. That's the trick right away. Bit of rallycross will get you the move done. Now Iannucci smell blood in the water here.
Well, that's coming to iRacing as well. Here comes Pasquale Iannucci. See what he has then for Mikey Grems. See what Mikey Grems now has for Mike Dam.
Well, that's Scott Kennedy as well. We saw how good he was at the start of the race. The green and black car really forging a path on the outside when the lights went to green. And he's now forged his way into this lead battle. 1.1 seconds covering the front fours across the line. Now here comes Grems again in the slipstream. Is he going to look to the inside? He is.
Yeah, he comes in using that slipstream to his advantage. Pulls alongside Dam up the inside into turn one. It's very tough to go side by side through there. Maybe this Mustang just slow enough to get away with it. Mike Dam keeps the lead, the veteran, the champion, of course, of previous season. And now, can he build the lead? I wonder, but it's going to be difficult with these three chasing him, and because at the back of this group as well is Scott Kennedy, who got a fantastic start, Adam, but he wasn't able to convert it into any positions gained.
No, he tries to get it done round the outside, but I think on the opening lap of the race, that inside line definitely is the better one. And we saw that with the cars that were starting on the inside at the start of the race. But yeah, he's just keeping a watchful eye on the front three in front of him. Oh, as he gets a bit sideways on the exit, taking the two. In the Formula Renault, you can actually get high centred on those green curbs on the exit. I had a big crash there in a IMSA Sports Car Series race. We were trying out the Ferrari on week one of the season, and I had to literally lock and hold, and someone did unfortunately hit me on the way out, but yeah, that is it. No, it's still a corner for the drivers to watch out for, and we could see that towards the end of the stints when the tyres get a bit past their best.
Looking into the Masters, by the way, David Payton, he's in second place overall at the minute, but he's coming under a lot of pressure. It's Tom Rathje, it's Travis Franke, it's John Allen, main competitors for him. But what it means, Alex, is he's just dropped off a tiny bit from Brian Holmes. I say dropped off, and it's all relative. It's still only about 3/4 of a second.
Yeah. Great shot of them flying by there as well. You're right, there's nothing in them, one straight, and they're going to be all right up on each other again.
See the Mustangs crossing over that bridge, of course, towards 130R. See them in the background even as they go towards the hairpin, but can Rathje do anything about David Payton in towards Spoon Curve? Because it's a decent length straight for these Mazdas. It's not a straight really, it's a long, very, very long corner technically, but completely flat. Do nothing there though. He is now getting a good run, and it really just illustrates the difference, Alex, between looking, being able to concentrate on your own driving and looking forward, because as soon as Payton started doing that instead of looking in his mirrors, it seems like he's gaining again.
Yeah, very much. That's the way it is. We know all too well from running the BSR, when you're in the packs like that, it's you can go from attack to defense really, really quickly, and it can have a massive effect on actually just staying in that pack. Here
comes second place for Tom Rathje.
Yeah, very good move from Tom, really. Yeah, like you say, absolutely textbook. Fantastic move.
Perfect example of how to make the pass there into the Casio triangle, and here comes Payton again, Adam.
Straight away you can see that Brian Holmes has pulled a few tenths a second, but yeah, you're right. Payton having a little look, but looks like that Rathje is keen on settling into the second position for now. See if he can close in after Brian Holmes. But yeah, David Payton down to third place now. One position still gained for the Canadian due to various Mustang calamities. But yeah, he's now in third, and Travis Fenke might fancy his chances to gain another position in fourth.
See a battle going on actually in the background between Jordy Fike, Chris Torman and Dan Carrido. They were side by side almost coming through the first couple of corners, I think. Oh, it was just Carrido running a tiny bit wide and letting Jordy Fike get very, very close in, but that's that second pack. It's going to be difficult for them now though, Alex, because they've got about 10 seconds behind that front group. I was wondering if maybe they could work together, but I just think they don't have maybe the sheer pace to get there.
No, looking at the lap times, they're good 2 seconds off the pace, so I don't think there's anything they can do, unfortunately.
Here's
Lost the
Grems.
draft. And
Oh, Grems for the race lead.
Maybe
Ill
not.
luck. But you can see that they've now split into 2 packs. Pasquale Iannucci now in 3rd. He is 1 second now behind Mikey Grems in 2nd place. Oh, is that running wide Mike Dam?
He is, but again, they just don't seem to lose a heck of a lot of momentum. These tiny little offs, because the Mustang just seems to carry on regardless. Grems with much better lines through this first sector, and Alex has always told me that, you know, you compromise that very first corner to get the best line for the whole first sector, and you can see that. Well, Mr. Simpson, Mike Dam, he didn't get that second corner right, and it's hurt him, hasn't it?
yeah, big time. He was constantly chasing it the whole way through there, still trying to maintain speed. You kind of just have to take it on the chin if you've missed it, and just lose a bit of time and know that you're going to be quite quick through Dunlop, because that's where the most of the time is gained or lost. That corner going into Dunlop there.
Grems looked like he was having to think about going up the inside. Adam, the Kobayashi move, as you mentioned, and didn't quite happen that time, but maybe just sizing him up and seeing where he's quicker.
Yeah, that corner along with the Casio triangle is probably the key overtaking point on the circuit. Turn 1 is, but it does have an element of risk about it. Definitely don't want to be trying to do 2 moves into Spoon. However, Mike Dam seems to have disregarded my instructions to that completely, the way he got the lead earlier. But yeah, as running wide goes Mikey Grems on the X of the second part of Spoon. Will that have affected the straight line speed at all? We're now going up the hill over the bridge, which separates the figure of 8 circuit. But no way through into 130R. It has changed in profile over the years. It used to be a much sharper corner pre-2002, but now on the brakes into the Casio triangle, which itself has changed in recent years. And Mike Dam continues to lead. The orange 93 car, the Ford Mustang, coming out the final corner now, and he will lead lap 8 of the race as Tyler Shifless and Mike Griffith, I think, are exchanging positions. I think that was, if I'm much mistaken,
Is Shiflett dropping down the order? Thomas as well is dropping down the order. So what's happened to Stephen Thomas?
Yeah, so Stephen Thomas then, he was in 8th position. Just going to see what happened actually going into the final chicane.
So Shiflett and Griffith were going side by side. Oh, he just loses it on the exit. But Alex said earlier on about putting the power down too early. It's one of the few things that you can do wrong really in this Ford Mustang, because it is a bit of a boat of a car, but it does have a lot of torque, and you do end up putting the wheels up.
Those street tyres for you there, isn't it? You know? If you had some racing slicks and it'd probably be fairly decent, but yep, as it was, whole load of wheel spin right there.
Amazing when you consider that, isn't it? That we race on effectively road tyres in this car. It's one of the few. I think it might be the only one that we do here in iRacing.
Like wheeling around a heavy shopping trolley.
Oh yeah, I mean at least it doesn't have 4-wheel steering. Because then there'd be in real trouble. Oh, there's a problem there. Wide goes Mike Griffith. He's maybe dropping into the clutches of Stephen Thomas momentarily. Even though Thomas had a problem though, Adam, he's still 2 places up from where he started, so hasn't hurt him a massive amount.
4 positions for Mike Griffith. That's his 10th position gained during the race. Shades of Ash Sutton in our BSR-TC coverage, isn't it? Man on the move, the man from Pennsylvania, now cracks the top 8 and is just over a second away from Tyler Shiflett, the next man in front, as Thomas runs very wide through the first part of Spoon, manages to rescue it for the second part, but that might just put pay to a few more attempts to Mike Griffith in front, who's trying to chase after Tyler Shiflett.
He's a quick driver, of course, Mike Griffith. Wasn't he on pole position for the first round of the season at Daytona?
Yeah, I think he was.
So we know he can get round the circuit out there. What we're going to do, ladies and gentlemen, is for the first time tonight we're going to go for a quick commercial break. So we will be back before the round of pit stops, where the order could change yet again here in the Extreme Motorsports Ricmotech Sports Car Series. Welcome back to Suzuka. Thanks to the sponsors there, of course, making the series exactly what it is, which is fantastic, I must admit. Mike Dam has enjoyed a fantastic lap, Adam, because he was 0.2 of a second clear. He's now getting on for nearly 1 second, actually.
What a reaction by Mike Dam, because on the last lap, Grems and Iannucci were lapping 3 or 4 tenths of a second quicker than the car 93.
Oh, there's a passing move there, and it's Michael Key around the outside of Geordie Fike, because Geordie Fike has got terrible damage in the front of his MX-5, and I wonder where he's sustaining that. It looks like on the... had a spin in the Casio triangle, but it looks like the damage occurred before that.
In the pit lane, indeed, yeah. I'm just going to work out what happened to him, because that bonnet is getting a lot more air now. Oh, it's the exit of the hairpin. Right, he loses the... Goodness me. Very hard to tell, actually, what part of the car he did lose.
Have a look.
Might have lost the front of the car, believe it or not.
Oh, it looked like he just carried on into the wall as if he just had some steering issue or something.
I'll check out what's up.
Not a great happening for him, definitely. You can lose the car coming out of the hairpin, but not usually in that fashion. That was an odd one.
What this does mean now is that he's got a lot of repairs to serve, plus tyres and fuel. He's been in the pit box now for a good 42 seconds, so I think we can class him out of the running of any major battles in the Mazda MX-5 class for this evening.
I think we can classify him as obsolete. Indeed.
Well, Mike Dam decided to make a break for it, maybe just trying to use up the last life in the tyres before the pit stops get underway. However, Mikey Grems has come with him. Gap is now back down to 0.4 of a second in the space of half a lap. But yeah, a good previous lap by Mike Dam, 2:21.2, 0.4 of a second quicker than Mikey Grems, but Grems has again started to apply the pressure on this next lap, lap 11 of the race. And it's not allowing Mike Dam out of his sights at all here as we edge ever closer to the pit stops. John Allen, speaking of which, is in.
John Allen in then from what was 8th position, looks like. Feel bad as well because we haven't mentioned Kevin Ford all evening. He's in 5th position, but it's kind of on his own, Alex, and he's between the two groups, isn't he? So just running his own race at the moment.
Yeah, let's bring him up. Where is he? There he is. You're right, got 2.5 seconds to the car in front and 5 seconds behind, so yeah. Just, yeah, like I say, just doing his own thing out there. Actually, sometimes it's a good thing, you know, if you're happy to be in that top 5 and you're not being hassled. You know, it's a good thing, and he's got enough of a buffer that if anything does go on with that front pack, start to get a little bit of rough around the edges, get the elbows out. It's going to have enough time to react and hopefully avoid that incident, maybe pick up a couple of places. And first of the pit stops by the looks of it.
Yeah, John Allen has been in and he has emerged and did flirt with the white line, it looked like, on the exit of the circuit.
Two Mustangs in as well. That is Jacobs and Burgett.
That was it. I did see someone go in. It was Iannucci in as well.
Just to back up your points on Kevin Ford, he's done pretty well recently. We got a second at Imola for a not so good result at Road America, but then a 4th place at Oran Park last week. And yeah, doing the business here again. Just needs to make sure he gets to the end of the race, as it looks like the Mustangs are starting to lap the tail enders in the Mazda MX-5 class.
You don't get much of an undercut here, so Iannucci really getting strategy out of the way here. Let's have a look and see whether... yeah, so Iannucci in. Michael Ruddock was he pitted, Alex? Ruddock?
Ruddock is not pitted. Oh, Michael Ruddock. No,
sorry,
he's not.
Michael Ruddock. Sorry.
Yeah, Michael. No, he's not.
Okay, I wondered because he was quite a way down, so he must have been. Oh, he got spun though, didn't he, by Bader, didn't he?
Yeah.
21 seconds stop for Allen. I can say that the Mustangs did 22 seconds for Iannucci and a 23 second stops for Jeff Jacobs and Michael Burgett. So we're seeing sort of times there. Rob Hartley and that is Rob Hartley getting past Richard Losper actually. So Hartley back up into 5th. Richard Losper down to 6th position now. The Australian New Zealand driver.
I wonder if Losborough had a blow down or something similar, because he was a bit tardy down that straight. We're going to see some lapping fairly soon as well, Adam. We're going to get Mustangs are right on the back of this field now. Well, at least the back of the the cars have been in the pits.
Mike Dam goes deep into the final chicane.
Oh, this will be a big chance for Mikey Graham's now down this.
Oh, he bails out.
Oh, as he pits.
Very
I was
bold.
a little surprised that he has pitted, however, don't know what strategy these guys are running.
We've just got over half the race to go, so Mikey Graham's, this could be the undercut right here.
And it's one of those situations where he'll have been a little bit annoyed that he couldn't maybe try and get the lead, but if you're pitting on that lap, Alex, you're pitting on that lap. There's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, exactly that. I think and might be a good time to do it. You know, you're perhaps getting held up, down under a little bit of pressure there. We'll have to wait to see how this plays out. Will Dam react instantly to get back on? Has Graham's taken tyres? That's the thing. Looks like a long stop, so I'd say he probably has. We're over 23 seconds. Iannucci was only 22.6. Here he comes. Graham's coming out of the pits. Iannucci's going to get him.
Wow.
Again,
Will.
does the business with the strategy.
Yeah, he seems to be very, very good at that. He just tend to bit a little early.
And even
said
though
the undercut wouldn't give a great advantage, but it looks like it has on this occasion.
even
2
though
seconds that he's
Yeah.
in
Would have just been a
front,
better
that's
stop,
quite
though.
a lot.
Iannucci pitted a lap earlier and still managed to do a pit stop time that was 1.2 seconds quicker than Mikey Graham's, and plus the speed on the track on the out lap, that's leapfrogged him ahead of Mikey Graham's.
Yeah, nailing your braking points and things like that is imperative in a race like this. Sorry, naming they're doing the braking points in the pits. Sorry, I'll get there in the end.
By the Mike Dam.
Oh, Holmes. Sorry, Ratu versus Svenke. Very close as well. Is Mike Dam in the pits?
Just saying he's on his way to 130R now, so we're about to find out if Mike Dam comes into the pits. He did a 2:22.1 on that last lap, of course. That lap time was compensated by the mistake into the final corner. Just putting 2 wheels onto the curb there through 130R, and now on the brakes into the Casio Triangle. Is this going to be the lap for Mike Dam? We've just got under 30 minutes to go. Is he coming in?
He's made a mistake as well there in the chicane.
Yes,
Then
he
again.
is.
He
Bit of a-
comes.
Messed up the in lap, won't be happy with that. But I think in his mind he'll be more worried about Graham's because he was right on his tail. But of course it's Iannucci that he's really got to be concerned about.
I think he'll have to be concerned about that because he was not more than a second or two in front of, less than a second in front of Mikey Graham's, of course, wasn't he? So, see what Iannucci does. He's going to come through 130R.
Ford in, Griffith in as well. Oh, and Dam overshoots doesn't get inside his pit box. I think that was the issue.
Well, that'll be the lead gone then, surely. Surely Pasquale Iannucci is going to take it here then. As in comes Matthew Catila, who's down in 12th place.
Traffic in front of Iannucci, but you're right. I think he's going to come through.
Oh,
Dam's,
yeah.
he's not
Here comes Dam.
moving, but not quick enough.
Dam's going to lose that to Graham's as well, so perfect decision from Mikey Graham's to pit. His look at that Mike Dam, he's only 2 seconds ahead of Kevin Ford now, so. And Mike Griffith has got some nice clear air. I think it'll be very interesting to see what he does, Adam, now he's got some clear track in front of him.
Yeah, because now he's in effective 4th position. And where he started, Griffith, 31st, of course, he would have been at the bottom end of the class. So that would have been, effectively, he started in about 17th position. So to get up to what will be 4th, that is again about 12 or 13 positions. So fantastic race so far from Griffith. If he can push on and maybe even get a podium at the end of the evening for the man who currently sits in first position in the GS Open category.
Because he'll go from bottom of the class to teacher's pet if he manages to do that.
Oh, very good.
There's, look at this battle here. There's Mustang coming out of the pits.
He doesn't want to be.
Look, and then there's some Mazdas there as well.
That's good from Graham's round the outside of Scott Brooks at the hairpin to make sure that he stays right on the tail of Iannucci. And actually, since his pit stop, he's closed in 1.3 seconds of that 2.2 that he was behind, so he's absolutely fine out there on the fresh rubber.
Say that Mike Griffith doesn't want to get a paddling at the end of the race.
And that's a paddling. Yeah.
Right then.
There may be some paddlings dished out, especially if Michael Ruddock gets back to Raymond Bader Jr., which they're not that far apart, by the way.
Well, half a second, so no, not far at all.
That could well be that could well be a paddling.
Cars in front of our leaders coming into the pits as well. Leon Wright coming in. The only 3 Mustangs that are yet to pit are Scott Kennedy, Tyler Shiflett and Russell Ruddock.
Rathje and Holmes, by the way, are quite close together again. Holmes currently leading the way. And Rathje having a good race, very good race. He started 21st, he's now 18th.
Are we going to see anything between these two? They're 0.2 of a second behind going into Spoon.
I know I was slightly half asleep to begin the race meeting, but it was definitely these two, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there we go. Coming out of Spoon Curve then.
Oh my goodness me, this battle for the effective race lead is more than on now. It's overheating, I think.
Let's go to that then.
Just before we go to commercial break, we've definitely got a race on for the win here. Pasquale Iannucci leading.
Don't count out Scott Kennedy either, Adam. He's not pitted yet, and he's got every chance of. He's putting some good laps.
Grems did a 2:19.
Not a great one on the last lap, obviously.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah, Grems did a 2:19 compared to Kennedy's 2:22. Oh, he's going for the lead into the, well, effective race lead into the hairpin.
Oh, this would be typical Sky Sports, wouldn't it, right now, as it comes to the advert break or something like that, just to go boom!
And now we're going to, yes.
But we're not going to.
It reminds me
right now.
It's going to be that World Cup game, isn't it? Where
World Cup
Hyundai
2010.
Where the Hyundai advert came on and missed England's goal.
Yep, which was the only real plus point of that match. As I recall, England versus USA.
Couldn't have missed. They should have missed Rob Green's error instead, shouldn't they?
No, that would have been good. Yeah.
Scott Kennedy's in, but I think we're heading out because we're heading to a commercial break, are we, Alex?
Well, we're heading to 130R. I want to see exactly what we can do, though. Alex, to see if there's a move into the Casio Triangle, because it's going to be very close. And we saw Mikey Grems go for it earlier on there. And Iannucci covers the inside. Can he set him up? A good exit. It's a decent exit, but it's not quite Raikkonen and Fisichella, is it? He's got a decent run, but nothing more.
That Kennedy and Shiflett are both in, so Russell Ruddock's the only Mustang that's not pitted yet in this race. This will move Iannucci and Grems up into second position, but we all know it's the effective battle for the race lead.
Yeah, it is, and they've emerged ahead of Scott Kennedy, so Kennedy down to fourth position.
Iannucci looks like he's safe through this stage, so we'll head on down to Frank and Ricmotech, and yeah, let's check in with those guys, and we'll be back in just a sec. And in typical advert fashion, we missed the overtake for the lead. So here we are, back in there with the replay, going into the hairpin. Little mistake for Iannucci. Goes in very, very deep, and then for some reason doesn't get off the corner at all well, and comes under pressure from Dam. Dam nearly hits him round the outside. Iannucci drops from first to third, and Graham's back
Alex.
to the lead.
Here we
still
go down the
kicking off.
straight. Into the first corner. Who's going to lead?
Gonna be Grimes, is it? Or is it Dam? Dam gonna take the lead away from Mikey Grimes. He's trying to go around the outside of turn 1 if he can get the overlap. He's gonna have every opportunity of going through. Yes! Grimes using his superior speed in this first sector, trying to fight back, but Mike Dam has taken it. Mikey Grimes, who's had a fantastic season so far, going to need all of his skill now, Adam, to get through. That was an excellent move by Mike Dam.
Mike Dam, reckless abandon through the S's there. The Mustang just drifting about all over the place. And Mikey Grimes, having been done around the outside for the second time now, as Mike Dam makes a right mess of Degner 1, will be desperate to get that lead back. It was on the exit of the second spoon curve where Dam went around the outside of him earlier on in the race. Is he going to go up the inside of the hairpin? No. Has a little look, but Mike Dam back in the lead again.
Alex, the only word to describe that move was damn.
Yeah,
that was a good one.
Absolutely fantastic move.
But here comes Grimes. It's a fantastic run by him. This is how Grimes took the lead away from Pasquale Iannucci. Iannucci made a mistake at the hairpin. Then within one lap, we had 3 lead changes, Adam. That's extraordinary.
Top 3 altogether again. It's brilliant. It's all originated from Mikey Grimes trying to lap a Mazda through 130R. That really slowed him up, and that's what allowed Mike Dam to get that run down the front straight on the previous lap to get the lead. And again, these 3 all fighting it out. Canada versus New York here. Mike Dam from Canada, Mikey Grimes and Pasquale Iannucci both from the state of New York as they go through 130R now. And this is Mikey Grimes' opportunity. Mike Dam again, resolute on the brakes and maintains his position.
Yeah, strong defence there by Mike Dam. As you know, it's not that easy to pass in these cars when they don't have a lot of slipstream and things like that, but it's provides some very, very interesting racing. They're starting to filter through the back end of the Masters as well. They'll be coming up to the Master leaders a few laps time.
We saw a similar
pointing out that Holmes had a massive penalty as well. 42.8 seconds was his stop.
Oh! Big one for Grimes. Big slide coming out of 2.
Saves it. We're on board for it as well. Got a whole host, and he just caught the edge of the curb. You see him from the onboard, just trying to get the car off that curb again. It's like a train track. I'm surprised to see the Mustangs getting affected by it, though. I have to say.
Absolutely gutting for Brian Holmes then if he's picked up a penalty. Do we know what that's for?
I'm not sure. 42.8 seconds. I'm guessing it's just a standard pit lane speeding. Yeah, on the way in. So.
So Mike Dam missed his pit box. Brian Holmes is speeding in the pit lane. It's the lead. Seem to be going particularly well when you're in the lead tonight. Actually, Richard Losper now in the lead in the Masters, but he's not pitted yet.
Yeah. Last year
he will relinquish that. Great
race again, and yeah, I think he's got a good opportunity here of maybe getting a win. These there's top 3, nothing in between them. Peyton just dropped back a little bit, but he might be able to get back into that draft.
We go on board with him.
We're on for a bit of a thriller, I think, for the close of this one as well. And of course the Mustangs haven't finished yet. We've come away from that battle, but they're still right on top of each other.
We go on board with Rash J, Alex?
Do it.
Take us through it, man, as he chases down Travis Schwenke.
We exit final corner here, then Suzuka. Not quite a good exit there. Schwenke carrying much more speed off the corner. And Rasti's going to have to use that slipstream to catch back up down the main straight. And I can hear a car to the right, which is going to make things a little bit interesting through turn 1. And there goes Rob Hartley up the inside. So Yeah, that poor exit really did affect him, but sweeping through turn 1, double apex corner, then into the famous S's section. Again, always compromising your line through these corners just to try and optimize the exit out of here, so you're got the best line through Dunlop as you can possibly get. So patient here. The car feels like it just wants to understeer forever. Sweep the car all the way to the right, then back to the left, hard on the power, up the hill. Got to be confident that the car's just going to stick through there. It's a little bit of a blind corner as you go over the crest, heading towards the Degner corners now. Very fast, sweeping right-hander, massive curb on the inside, big old curbs on the left as well. You can get stuck on them into Degner too. Watch you don't get the off track on the exit there. Very bumpy as well. Can just kill a little bit of momentum through there as we head in towards the hairpin corner. Again, very, very tricky. You want to brake as late as you can, but you're almost sort of braking and turning at the same time. So easy to lock the front tyres up there. And yeah, nice corner through for Rathje. But Hartley looking very, very good right now, closing in on his teammate 0.3 of a second back, staying on board through the long right-hander, which does have a name, but I always forget it. Into the spoon curve. Lovely, lovely corner. Lots of adverse camber. Very old school for most racing circuits nowadays. Just constantly pushing you wide on the exit there. You have to be very patient getting on the power, but once you do, it's absolutely a lovely feeling when the car hooks up. Can get a little bit loose on the exit because of the camber as well. And then down the back straight, using the slipstream once again into 130R. We're going to throw that car in. Not going to be flat out in the MX-5s, just a little lift though, nothing major. And then for the final corner, late on the brakes, and you want to commit through this corner. You want to hit the curb on the inside of both corners. It's the quickest line. Not too much, otherwise you won't get the run you wanted, but that was perfect from Tom. And look at how much he closed up on the back of Hartley to finish the lap off.
Nearly ran into the back of him,
He almost
didn't
hit
he?
the car of Hartley, yeah, I was going to say. Into the hairpin, as I think Spanky at the front of the group got the worst run through the chicane. Richard Losper, incidentally, has been in the pits. He's emerged in 7th place. So Losper's still in touch at least with this group. And you can see in the background, the leaders of the Ford Mustangs are on the same pitch straight now, Adam, as the top 8 in the MX-5s.
Running up to another one of those finishes, aren't we, where the two classes meet again for the final stages of the race. And this battle for the Mazda MX-5 lead really enthralling to watch. Not over yet in the Mustangs either. Saw a thrilling race when we were here for the iRacing Road Pro Series back in November last year. Between the Torst and I can't remember the other driver. I think it was one of the Apex cars fighting for the win. Oh no, Chatorst had a horror that one. It was I can't remember who the other one was.
It was Matt. Was it Matt Backham and? I don't remember. But anyway, it was a good race. We had a good race here. We remember something. It was a good race.
Running through the order then now that the pit stops are complete. Mike Dam leads the way. He's now ahead of Mikey Grums by 6/10. Pasquale Iannucci in 3rd. So he's gone from leading the pack after the pit stops being completed to now being back down to 3rd. Scott Kennedy 4th, Kevin Ford in 5th as these Mazdas continue their scrap into the spoon curve. Kevin Ford in 5th, Mike Griffith up 12 positions to 6th now, and then Thomas, Jacobs, Schiffler and Burgett. Then in the Mazda MX-5, it's Travis Venke, 7 positions gained for him. He's leading the way in the class. Rob Hartley 2nd, Tom Rathje 3rd, Peyton 4th, and then John Allen 5th. Here comes Hartley again. Going to try into 130R. But Schwenke's giving him the space as well to get the move done.
Teammates not giving too much hassle to one another there, are they? Which is sensible with only 12 minutes this race to go.
Wow, that's gone very, very quickly, hasn't it? Oh, it's me. Do we need to go for another break?
I think what we'll do is we'll do it before we do the interviews.
Okay, there we go. We're not going to ITV you here, ladies and gentlemen. Come back with 1 lap to go or anything silly like that. Slipstream for Schwenke. Slipstream is strong with this one, but sliding is Hartley though. Sliding is Hartley though. Through the first couple of corners. Let's see though if he's going to try and if Shrinky can try and get through on this lap, Alex. But like you say, do or do not. There is no try.
You must have read my mind.
Oh.
Do apologise, viewers. I don't at all, really. Not at all.
And Rob is turning to Travis, going, "Travis, I am the leader."
I'm just saying, he's not his
Adam,
father.
get out right now. That was absolutely terrible.
I don't think he's his father. I will say that, but
Oh God!
you never know. Stranger things have happened, haven't they? As White goes.
Let's sit in the
And
corner
the award
now.
for the worst pod of the evening goes to.
I want to point out that Dam's now 2 seconds clear, guys. So just dropped Grems. Grems made a mistake. Iannucci back on his tail. So and bit of a rough exit coming out of Degna 2 for him there as well. So there's a bit of traffic ahead of him, and I think yeah, Grems is going to need that just to try and slow down Dam just for a moment, just to see if he can get back on his tail. But otherwise, that could be our battle for the lead of this class. Done and dusted, because Dam has been the quicker of the two drivers all meeting.
I want to know, Alex. Do we think bad puns are the path to the dark side, or what?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well,
He's
possibly.
halfway there.
I've infiltrated it, yeah.
And we've got in fourth place we've got Kevin Harrison Ford in fourth position, and then you've got Scott Kennedy behind him.
Which one's Obi-Wan?
Yeah, I don't know which one the master is. We'll find out as Mike Dam goes through on Richard Losper. Is that? Has Losper made a mistake, or has he just dropped off? I think he's just dropped off this little group. Well, what I say little group, it's just him and Ashley Beard at the minute. John Allen versus David Payton might be heating up fairly soon. And you've still got that battle for the lead. So the Mazdas, as usual, providing fantastic racing in the Extreme Motorsports Ricmotech Sports Car Series. I'm sure we'll see it to the end of this one, which actually, as you mentioned, isn't that far away.
Yeah, just 9 minutes, and at 2 minutes a lap, well, 2.5 minutes nearly.
We're
Yeah, we're not going to have many laps to go. So you might be absolutely spot on, guys, that these MX-5s are going to come right into the play. The leaders are going to converge on track. Where are the leaders right now? Hartley just going through Dunlop Curve now, and Dam just heading in towards Dunlop right now as well. So, yeah, not long to go. What's that, about 7-8 seconds? So,
well, yeah,
they'll
it's
get them in
might be there.
two laps. They'll be there, won't they?
yeah, 2:22 is being done by Mike Dam compared to Hartley doing 2:25. So 3 seconds a lap, the difference.
Yeah, they'll definitely get there before the end of the race. The thing is, though, Alex, if the Mustangs get up behind the Mazdas, for instance, in the S's section, they might find it very difficult to go through.
I think they'll have to be patient. Especially as they're all battling out there as well. You know, they have to think of the other cars. So this is going to be, this is going to be interesting. Come up against that pack of 3 cars for the leads. Usually pretty good at letting the thing through, but if Grems can get on the back, it's only 1.5 seconds now. So he's been navigating the traffic a bit quicker. And you know what it's the case of. Dam is effectively sort of prepping everybody for the next couple of cars coming through. So he's having to do the hard work on sort of going, look, you know, here I am, flash, flash, get out of the way, and then they were alive to the situation, and the rest of them come flying through at the same time.
It wakes up the back markers. They're back markers. It's a little harsh, isn't it? That, but that's I suppose what they are in the context of the race. I guess.
Look at this. Kevin Ford and Scott Kennedy trying to get past this Mazda, and up the inside goes Kennedy. Is it? Yeah, it is.
Oh!
Oh!
Wow, that's very close. Kevin Ford just cutting him off at the pass there.
Kennedy on the is going to get the draft. Could get himself locked in if he's not careful here. Doesn't. Would have gone to the other side. It would have looked fantastic on screen.
Here we go then. Ford stays ahead, but for how long, Adam? Because Kennedy is right with him. The only problem Kennedy's going to have now is he won't be able to see very well because it's quite a big old car, really, this Mustang.
Pretty big indeed as they go for the S's. As big as the Millennium Falcon, I think. As they go for...
There you go, that's better.
That's better. And I think these two are as close together on track as R2D2 and C3PO.
Oh no!
As they go up the hill. And the lapping Ash Beard, 2-time BSR Mazda MX-5 champion. That might not end well.
Oh no!
Nearly did.
Yeah, Ashley Beard was alert to that as well.
Frankie and Hartley are very, very close, and of course the leaders that are right on them as well now. I think going to catch him just coming out of Spoon, and Grem's
and Schwenke.
0.9 of a second behind.
That's when he might be able to get the run, Alex, as well. Is exactly when those guys are coming through. So, it's going to be tough.
Yeah, I think Hartley and Svinky are just working together at the minute, trying to drop Tom, aren't they, if anything? So,
yeah, I think so.
And they'll go at it, I guess, at the final lap.
Mike Dam on the grass. In the AstroTurf, but...
Grem's definitely well in the draft now, 0.7 of a second behind. He's brought Iannucci with him, so the top three close back up with just 5.5 minutes to go. What are we going to get? We're going to get might get 3 more laps.
We're going to get a grandstand finish, that's what we're going to get.
There we are, all 6 of the top 3 in each class. On shot right there. Fantastic.
Dam with a poor line through the chicane, Adam, probably loses half a second.
Do what the lap times are like then. 2:21.6 for Mike Dam, 2:20.9
look at
for Grant.
Look at Svenke, look at the overspeed he's got. Gonna have a look into turn 1. No, he doesn't. Grem's going past Rathje.
Graham
She gets caught behind. This could be a problem for him. I think that right there may well be his chance of winning out of the window.
0.6 of a second quicker, Mikey Graham's on that last lap than Mike Dam. Now Dam's getting held up by second place in the Mazdas. Travis Schwenke, who's now trying to put the pressure on the leader of this entire group, Rob Hartley.
Again, as we mentioned, it's very, very even through this SS section between the two. Classic Gary he almost goes onto the grass.
Oh, he got away. Wants to go through Degner 1. Not the most sensible place to squeeze through. Very short run. Decides against it.
Don't rule out Iannucci now because look at these two Mustangs are getting held up now.
You miss the you make a mistake into Dunlop curve. Anything can happen. Here comes Mike Dam then up the inside. And
good from Dam. He needed
Hartley
to get
runs
by
around
there.
the outside.
Had to risk it a little bit, didn't he, around the outside there to get the run to make sure that happened, because I think Graham might have tried something.
Travis Schwenke then with a lot of slipstream. Here comes Iannucci.
Oh, he gets himself in there.
He's not out of this yet. What's the official time left, Alex?
3 minutes and 26.
Yeah,
25.
still quite a way.
This will be the last lap when we get to the
we've got a
line.
couple of laps to go.
Penultimate lap when we get to the line, yeah.
It's not over yet.
Here comes Schwenke for the lead. Has a little look in the second place car in the Mazdas.
Hartley's very good through 130R, isn't he, Alex? That's where he managed to get past Rathje. Coming out of there.
Yeah, I think, like I say, I don't think they're going to do anything risky until the final lap, then they might go at it. They've got a little bit of breathing room from Tom now as well, so something to think about. Now that's a bit different. Dam on the inside, Graham doesn't want the slipstream.
Fending thin air, literally, there. Yeah, that's what he was trying to do, I don't know.
That was a bit
I think he was
strange.
just trying to move out the draft, and normally the driver just follow him over there, but Graham's like, nah, can't bother today, I'm close enough.
Well, to be honest, I wouldn't be bothered in the Mustang either, considering how much slipstream you end up getting. It might not be even worth moving over, but...
Doesn't want to be driving erratically, after all, smoothness is key.
And this is definitely key, and seeing that out there on the track at the minute. I think Tom Rathje's goose is cooked, Alex. He's 2 or 3 seconds down now.
As cooked as Jar Jar Binks.
Slower by 1 and a bit seconds as well. I just choose to ignore that one.
Apologies, viewers.
Dear.
A few laps to go. Mike Griffith has had issues. He's had big issues. He's in the pits. What's happened? Oh, big crash actually. Big crash. What's happened? Oh, Mike Griffith. Oh no, he's collided with a blooming Mustang. I mean a Mazda. Through Dunlop curve.
Oh, and it's John Allen involved in that, but I think John Allen's had a mistake.
Stephen
He's
Thomas
had a
as well.
mistake anyway.
Yeah, well, Stephen Thomas. So two of the big names in the field that we'd see him making up positions.
John Allen loses it. He tries to correct it. Bang into Griffith. Bang into Thomas, and off goes
Shiflett.
Shiflett as well. Oh, and Shiflett, and somebody hits Shiflett.
Ah, it's Jeff Jacobs.
And Geordie Fike involved as well. Now that is a pile-up, Alex. Have you got that on the replay?
If we can...
It's a massive one when you consider everybody involved. There's about 6 cars involved in the end, and it's all because John Allen just gets a little bit out of shape and loses the car in Dunlop.
As leaders going side by side. Sorry guys, I didn't want to switch away from that in the MX-5s. But they maintain as they were. Right, let me see if I can just quickly go back and find this before...
Rest assured you will find it.
There's the aftermath, that's for sure. What's the best car to focus on this one then? Oh, well, there it all is. Shiflett was actually having his own separate incident. Wow, a lot of cars involved in that one. Right, back live. Where are the leaders?
That was a messy one, that wasn't it?
White flag is out.
Yeah, no, the clock is at 0. Yeah, Mike Dam is just going through the S's for the final time. And Travis Schwenke, as Alex was saying, has got the lead now, away from Rob Hartley. And Hartley hasn't got too long to respond. He's got just under 5 kilometres.
And, you know, this race has gone by so quickly that I'm sure this last lap will as well for everybody but Mike Dam and Travis Schwenke. Here comes Rob Hartley. Still close.
Vecna 1, no way through there. Look at the amount of curve that they take there. That is no problem for these Mazdas. Any other car, you really have an issue if you take that much curve through the corners here at Suzuka.
Mike Griffith has had a disconnection just to add to his woes.
Looking so good for him in the championship, wasn't it, before it all unravelled on that last lap?
Grim's 8/10 of a second back. I think he's too far away now, guys, to do anything. Not quite a great first sector for him.
I think you're right there, mate. Hartley getting close, but he's not going to have a go into Spoon. Difficult place to pass. Now on the final lap of the race here, the Extreme Motorsports Ricmotech Sports Car Series. Mike Dam, Mikey Grems coming to the final corner. Very close to Frankie and Hartley. This side by side into 130R. I don't know where to look. We've got the wind going on at the front, but we'll see. Oh, and Hartley round the outside into 130R. Frankie tries to fight back. He can't do it. We see Mike Dam coming across. He wins the race there in the Ford Mustangs from Grems and Iannucci. What a last lap there for Robert Hartley. He wins in the MX-5s, and Alex, that was a wonderful finish.
Yeah, great race all round. Very close up front, just a second and a half separating the top 3. Then that battle in the MX-5s as well. Great move around the outside for Hartley. Svenke just couldn't respond.
Rest of the cars coming across the line, and Iannucci rounds out the podium. Kevin Ford 4th, Scott Kennedy rounds out the top 5 in the Mustangs, top 5 in the And the Mazda MX-5 is being rounded out by Rafjay, who gets that final spot on the podium. David Payton fourth, and Ash Beard managed to survive the mess that unfolded on the exit of the Dunlop curve to take the final spot in the top 5 in the Mazda MX-5s. Raymond Bader Jr. just coming across the line now, car 00, about to come across the line and take 13th position, the Californian. Driving on the west coast, of course, we've got drivers from all parts of America, plus we've got the occasional Canadian and British driver thrown in for good measure, and Australia and New Zealand as well. And yeah, Raymond Biddy comes across the line, takes 13th.
Drivers racing at all sorts of different time zones. Alex, I think that's a big plus point for the series, and of course, then you've got us at 3 o'clock in the morning or whatever it is.
Yeah, they seem to pull the people in, don't they? So it's all good.
Very, very good indeed. And now I believe we've got a commercial break to go to. So we'll, I think we'll... do we head to that, Alex? And then we'll give everyone the final results when we come back?
Yeah, we'll be back. Just...
Focus, determination, passion, stamina, and the will to win. The end result, the Ricmotech Sports Car Series. Extreme Motorsports brings you the Ricmotech Sports Car Series, brought to you by Ricmotech High Performance Sim Racing Equipment, and in part by TD's Tree Service. Live coverage Mondays, 9 p.m. Eastern.
Welcome back then to Apex Racing TV and iRacing Live. The Extreme Motorsports Ricmotech Sports Car Series has concluded from the Suzuka International Circuit, and we've got a victor in both categories. We've got Mike Dam, we've got Robert Hartley. Robert Hartley with moving the night, really, Adam, considering the circumstances around the outside of Travis Fenke in the final 130 hour of the race.
Yeah, the penultimate corner really of the lap, and when the chips were down, he really needed to pull off a special move to stop him from winning, and he was able to do that brilliantly to get the win. Running through the results then from the evening, Mike Dam takes the win, and then Mikey Grems in second, Pasquale Iannucci in third, rounding out the podium. So the victor last week at Oran Park gets another podium here. Kevin Ford in fourth. There's another good result. 3 out of 4 top 5s, I think, for Kevin Ford. Scott Kennedy in 5th, 6th for Stephen Thomas. I don't know how he's ended up 6th after the mess he had to go through on Dunlop Curve. Michael Burgett 7th, 8th for Russell Ruddock, 9th for Leon Wright, and 10th for Brandon Whitworth. Matthew Catila 11th, Scott Brooks 12th, 13th for Raymond Bader Jr., last car on the lead lap, and Tyler Schiffler and Jeff Jacobs, the 2 major casualties from the carnage on the exit of Dunlop. And then Rob Hartley, the winner in the Mazda MX-5, 2nd Travis Fenke, 3rd for Tom Rathjay, 4th David Payton, 5th Ash Beard, 6th for Richard Losper, 7th for Brian Holmes, 8th for John Allen, 9th for Chris Torman, and 10th for Dan Carrido. Then Edgar Sanchinelli in 11th. And then you can see Mike Griffith suffered a massive hit through Dunlop Curve, was up inside the top 8 after a fantastic storm through the field, finished 16th in class, 27th overall. Then Michael Key and Geordie Fike both had issues during the race. Michael Ruddock as well out earlier on, and then Michael Monaghan and Dave Fitzgerald both didn't take the start.
Okay then, so really was a great race. Really enjoyed that one, and as usual we'll get a lot of drama at the end. Alex, who's the first victim then?
I think we should speak to Hartley after that fantastic move on the final lap.
I think you're right. Yeah, Rob Hartley joins us now, and what a move on the final lap. You must have enjoyed that one.
Oh man, that was a fun race with Travis there and Tom.
What were you thinking going into the last couple of corners? Did you think that were you always planning to try it on 130R, or were you thinking about the chicane?
I was definitely coming to 130R. Then that Mustang come by us there, and I thought my only chance is to dive in behind that Mustang, and I think Travis was thinking the same thing, and we got real close there, but able to make the pass on the outside there, just like he did to me the lap before.
Seems like you're always involved in exciting finishes, and you certainly like them a little bit easier than that, but I think the exciting finishes, they can't be all bad.
No, that was a good finish. I thought I was gone when I made that mistake in the beginning. Got kind of sideways and I lost a few spots there.
Yeah.
So I was glad to get back up there and race with them.
Well, where are we next week, Adam? Do we know?
Mid-Ohio.
Is that next week, or is that... Yeah, it is,
Yes, that is next week, yeah. I believe so.
What do you make of Mid-Ohio then, Rob? It's going to be fairly similar in the fact that overtaking is going to be at a premium. Is it a track that you enjoy? Is it one that you look forward to?
Yeah, I like Mid-Ohio. That's a good track. And these other guys in this league are Mid-Ohio specialists, so it's always tough to beat them. They live very close to the track.
Oh, so they've actually driven... A lot of them have actually driven the track, have they? And
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so well, you can't beat that local knowledge, Alex. We've seen that. You've driven around Silverstone, for instance, and it seems to help you.
Well, yeah, I think it does.
Yeah, John Allen and Travis Swinkie, they're pretty familiar with that track, I believe.
And I remember we used to do, and we're going back to our old IndyCar league and things like that, Mid-Ohio, Alex. We had some good races. We all got booted out of a session there, I remember.
Yeah, it's a fantastic circuit. I'm sure it's going to be a lot of fun. So, yeah, well, wish you all the best of that one, mate. If it'd be good for you to get one over them on your on their home turf, so to speak.
Yeah, it'd be good to get another win there. It was a tough one here.
Very, very tough one, but you managed to come through it and find style. And is there anybody you'd like to thank and say hello to before we leave you for the evening?
Yeah, I'd definitely like to thank Frank from Ricmotech, main sponsor here, along with TD's Tree Service, and just all the guys involved with this league. It's a great league to race in, cleanest racing I've seen.
I think it's the cleanest racing we've seen as well. And tonight you came out on top. Rob Hartley, thanks for joining us once again.
Thank you.
Always good to get the perspective from the front of the race. And speaking of which, Adam Bath has got Mike Dam, and that was a pretty close one, Adam, wasn't it?
Yes, Mike Dam, well done on the win.
Thank you.
Well, you and Mikey Grems and Pasquale Iannucci were all at it during the race. One moment it looked like you were going to be in third, and then after the first pit stops, and then you were able to get back to the lead again with two pretty good moves around the outside.
Yeah, once Pat pitted, I knew I should have pit the next lap, but I didn't. I don't know why. So then Mikey pit the next lap, and I did another lap, but my tires were gone. And I was just sliding all over the place. It was a really slow lap. Then I went into my pit box, and I was too far left. So then I had to kind of like mash the gas and rotate my car in order to get the fueling started. so that cost me some time, and then I ended up coming out like 5 seconds behind. But luckily, I think Mikey got some slowdowns, and Pat missed a shift coming out of the hairpin. And it shouldn't have been my race, but we all made some pretty bad mistakes.
First overtake was pretty good. Exit a spoon curve using a piece of the gravel as well. You ought to get past Mikey Grems there.
Yeah, yeah. If you can get the run along the outside on that first turn, I think you can hold it, because there's some pretty good camber on that turn, so you're not sliding off it too bad. So I was able to do that a couple times. I think that was a good place to pass.
And then the second overtake, I'm just trying to remember where it was now. Outside of turn 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, that was another good move. So yeah, championship play then. It's looking pretty good at the moment. You've got Mid-Ohio next week. Your thoughts on that track?
Yeah, I think it should be pretty decent at Mid-Ohio. I mean, at least I'm familiar with it, so that'll be a tough one. It's always a tough one with the Mustangs. There's a lot of off-camber corners and crests where you're trying to put the power down, so that one will be pretty tough to stay consistent, especially if we get some hot weather.
Very well. Before we let you go tonight, do you want to send a quick shout out to anybody?
Yeah, I want to thank the admins, Kevin and Jeff, for putting this on. They do a great job. It's a really quality league I'm racing in, so thank them for that. I want to thank Frank at Ricmotech for sponsoring us and providing us with some pretty awesome equipment. Also, I want to thank TD's Tree Service for sponsoring us as well, and all the drivers that make this the series it is.
Very well done on the win, and yeah, great battle with you and Mikey at the front. We'll hope to see the same next week in Mid-Ohio.
Yeah, it's eating up pretty good. Have a good night.
Here's Mike. Mike down there, and hard-fought victory there, deserving, of course. And now we're joined by the men who complete the MX5 podium, behind Rob Hartley, of course, Travis Svenke and Tom Ratty. Travis, come to you first, my friend. Always tough to lose the lead on the last lap, but you gave it everything you had, and it didn't look really likely that you were going to be able to mount a challenge at the beginning.
Yeah, it was. I was talking to Tom in the green room there, and I thought I had it snookered right. I thought the Mustang would go by a little faster, and I'd be able to then suck back behind him. And Rob just got his nose in there, and it just meant we were going side by side, and he had the inside for Honda. So it was well played. You know, that's all. I didn't have much else to try.
No, and to be fair, you don't expect someone to go around the outside of you there anyway, do you? Even if they've got the what you call the right line. But yeah, next to the race then, because you started off. Where did you qualify? 22nd. So I mean, it wasn't the best qualifying you've ever had, but you fought up through the field well, and I guess the key was sticking with that main group at the beginning.
Yeah, for sure. Trying to make sure we didn't lose that front part, and if there was an opportunity to pass someone, I took it. If they made a mistake, I'd make sure to try to push by if I could.
What do you make of this circuit then? Is it one that you enjoy, or is it?
Yeah, it's. I would have liked the win, of course, but I don't mind losing to Rob. It's and going side by side through there, it still made me smile. So I'll take it and go home with it.
And so we'll get back to you in a second, but Alex is with Tom Ratty, and Tom managed to finish third today and had a storming race.
Yeah, hello Tom. Welcome to the booth. Just tell us a little bit about your race, because like you say, you're moving up through that field nicely at the start. It was looking really good, and yeah, just towards the end, it just seemed to lose the front two, and couldn't fight your way back there.
Yeah, it was. The strategy of the race was just to stay as consistent as I can, minimize my mistakes. Rob and Travis are just two awesome drivers, so staying with them. In the beginning, it was sticking with Brian. I had to get by Dave, and I had that one opportunity, so I got him on the inside going into Honda. And then I just, was able to stay in Brian's draft until we pitted. So, that all worked out. And then, just kept going, head down.
And just talk a little bit about the car and track combo, because I think at the start of the race we thought there may be a little bit more separation than we saw tonight, but actually the pack was really, really close. I mean, I'm just watching the replay now after about sort of 10 minutes or so of racing, and you're sort of like 8 or 9 cars deep here.
Yeah, it's I think that speaks a lot to the talent in the league. This is also a course where you gotta, if you're smooth and you can stick in someone's draft, you can actually hold up, keep along with a lot of folks. But I think it speaks more to the overall talent up and down in the league, that the pack was able to stay so close today.
Looking forward to Mid-Ohio next week. I would say like chalk and cheese the circuits. But obviously fast and flowing to a lot shorter and tighter twisting. Obviously there is quite a flow to it, but a lot of undulations at Mid-Ohio. How's the MX-5 going to go there?
Oh, the MX-5 is a blast at Mid-Ohio. If you like to slide the car, that's a place to be. So Lime Rock and Mid-Ohio are two of my favorite courses, so I'm really looking forward to it.
Awesome stuff. Before we let you go and head off tonight, anyone want to give a quick shout out to?
Oh, absolutely. To the league sponsors, Ricmotech and TD's Tree Service. We really appreciate them sponsoring the league. And then 2 sponsors for my car, HMS Motorsports, great safety equipment folks out of the Boston and Charlotte areas, as well as Wiley Motorsports out of here in Massachusetts.
Awesome stuff. Thanks very much, mate. Have a good evening, and yeah, we'll catch up with you next week.
Great, Alex. Great talking with you. Take care. Bye-bye.
See you, Travis.
Take care, guys.
All right. Well, pretty much concludes the coverage then from Suzuka. Just a quick word from Adam Bath to finish. Adam, we always love Suzuka. We had some fun here in the IMSA series at the start of the season, and provided us another excellent race, didn't it?
It's a track that loads of the drivers know well, and I think that really helps. It's been in loads and loads of various different sims and games over the years, and I think that really helped the drivers get on with the track pretty quickly, and probably why we saw so many great battles as well. The nature of the circuit really suited these Mustangs and the Mazda MX-5s today, and I think Mid-Ohio could be in for more of the same. We have got a bit of a long straight, so we can see a bit of slipstreaming going on in the Mazdas, and with the tight and technical corners that that circuit does have, it means that the drivers won't be able to escape too much. So yeah, make sure you tune in next week, because I think it's going to be another good race.
Yeah, and Alex, thanks again for the camera work, mate. That was quite a good race, wasn't it, really?
Yeah, thoroughly enjoyed that one. Suzuka always seems to put on a good show. I think Mid-Ohio will be just as good. Different race, completely different race, but will be just as good.
All right, well, we will see everybody later on today, I guess, for the Formula Renault. That comes your way at 8 p.m. in the closing stages of the season now in that. And then Thursday, the British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship returns. Friday, the Oceanic F1 Series. And then N-Power European V8s on Saturday. And I'm pleased to say Alex Simpson will be joining me for that one. So we'll have fun there. Okay, then, thank you everybody for watching. And we wish you all, from the UK at least, a very good morning.
Focus, determination, passion, stamina, and the will to win. The end result, the Ricmotech Sports Car Series. Extreme Motorsports brings you the Ricmotech Sports Car Series, brought to you by Ricmotech High Performance Sim Racing Equipment, and in part by TD's Tree Service. Live coverage Mondays, 9 p.m. Eastern.